was very busy at work, and I had had a full day coaching, training, and I came home, and that night I was getting undressed. I found the lump, and I thought, oh, maybe it was just the underwear, the underwire or whatever, so I sort of went to bed, didn't think too much about it. The next day I was crazy busy again, actually forgot about it until that night, the Wednesday night, and it was still there, and I thought, okay, this is not good. And it was almost like it had just appeared from nowhere one day. I'm convinced one day it wasn't there, and the next day it was. And so I got myself a doctor's appointment, and literally within about 4 or 5 days, because it was a public holiday, I had the diagnosis. And to say it was a shock is an understatement.
I was actually, I was driving, believe it or not. I was about to go to China for a conference, and I'd been to the doctor to get some flu shots, and I'd noticed a lump a few nights before and hadn't really thought anything of it, but I thought I'll get them to check while I was there. And yeah, she checked and didn't feel good about it, so I went and had a mammogram, ultrasound, and then a biopsy. And I was waiting for results. You know, the trip was coming closer, and was expected to get on the plane in the next few days. It'd be all clear, just waiting for them to tell me that it was all clear. But they didn't. They called me driving along, and they say, "You've got breast cancer."
So once I was diagnosed, it sort of felt a bit like a dream. It was more like a nightmare, but everything happens so quickly. You literally don't have time to stop and breathe, never mind think about all of the options. And you know, the first thing that obviously went through my mind, I have a young boy who was 4 at the time, and that was all I could think about is what if I die? What if I'm not here for him? But there's a myriad of things that you've got to do, and doctor's appointments and hospital appointments and so on, and literally within 4 days of being diagnosed, I was under the knife. I was in surgery.
I didn't have time for cancer, that's for sure. I've got 2 young children. They're now 6 and 9. So no, that wasn't in the plan. You know, in many respects, it has. The outcome has been good. I'm healthy now. It was a year of reflection. Sometimes things happen for a reason. I was able to take a year off, and I hope that the kids will remember that Mummy was there for a year. They'll remember that I didn't have hair, and that I was, you know, sick at times, and that I had surgery. Nicholas, my 5-year-old at the time, would say, "Are you going to have another cut, Mummy?" They'll remember some of that, but I'm hoping that they will more remember that I was around, and that we got through it together.
I was 42 years old. I never thought this would happen to me. I thought that I was bulletproof. So financially it was tough. I'm not going to lie about it. I couldn't work. I managed to service my existing clients, but in terms of bringing new business in, which is what brings the money into my business, I couldn't do that for about 8 months.
I was really lucky. My husband didn't believe in insurance, but I was always very firm that we needed to have insurance in place. So we did have income protection and trauma insurance. And so when I was sitting in the doctor's office, when we were sitting there, and the surgeon and the oncologist told us what was ahead, it was a relief to know that we had a lump sum, and that also I didn't have to worry about racing back to work, that I could take the time off, and it was just one less thing to worry about.
Make the time to get insurance. I understand that you don't want to think about these things. I understand that it's not pleasant to think that this might happen to you, and you probably don't think it's going to happen to you, but it might. 1 in 2 people now will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. Some of my health team have told me that they are seeing increasing numbers of younger women who are in careers, busy working mothers, busy with their careers or their business, who are getting breast cancer and other women's cancers. So please don't put it off. Just make the time to get that insurance. I'll never forgive myself for not having done that, because now, basically for the moment, I'm uninsurable.